Gentlemen, the 3 knockdown rule is in effect. I'm Steve Kim, joined by the partner in crime that's the greatest of all time, the Muhammad Ali of this show, Muhammad Mario Lopez.
Wow, that might be the nicest moniker ever.
I had to get
what
one.
did I
Because you
deserve
float
that?
like a butterfly, you sting like a bee.
I'm also coughing like I'm dying over here, like Doc Holliday in Tombstone, but I'm not. It's these allergies, man.
Yeah.
So if you're going to hear some coughs throughout this podcast, forgive me. I'm not sick over
and
here.
our Bundini Brown. He says, rumble, young men rumble. Justin Buffalo Knuckles
Yes.
on the scene. We've got so much to talk about, and I bring up the heavyweights because the PBC on Fox, it was a remarkable fight, I believed, at the Barclays Center, especially based on the expectations. But Adam Kownacki and Chris Arreola battled for 36 minutes, and it was the pole position. Kownacki winning by the scores of 117-111 twice and 118-110. But I don't think the scores tell the story of what a great fight this really was.
Before we get into the fight, I got to just say something that was a pet peeve of mine, and clearly I'm wrong then. There's no S in his name. Why did they keep pronouncing it Kownacki?
Yeah, it's the Polish pronunciation.
Is it really the
Yeah, someone should
pronunciation?
have told Deontay Wilder because me and him, we were on the same wavelength. I was very confused, too.
I
but
was very confused. They should because I was like, Kownacki? I go, the poor guy. By the way, I had so much fun watching that fight. That exceeded all expectations. That was a damn great fight. I couldn't believe that. Over here breaking records with over 2,000 punches thrown. But I am shocked that it went the distance because after that first round and Kownacki dropped that big right hand on Arreola, I go, oh, this is going to be a short night. It's going to be fun while it lasts, but it's going to be a short night. And my God, Arreola, I can't remember him looking so good. He took that shot. He took a lot of shots, but I thought he was boxing smart. He was going to the body well. The defense, I've never seen some bobbing and weaving like that. He just didn't have enough pop in his punches to hurt poor Kownacki. Now, I thought because he's built like Santa Claus,
ho, ho, ho.
And right, he was like a combo of Santa Claus and then Snowman. But man, but he won me over. I love that dude because he could box. He too showed a nice fundamental skills. He went beautiful upstairs and downstairs to the same time, and you could tell he's heavy-handed with those big like thudding boom bombs. But he's also let those hands go. What is it with these guys like Andy Ruiz, Kownacki? All of a sudden, they're these athletic big guys that aren't built like pro.
But they're fluid.
Yeah, but like you would think a pro athlete would be built. But yes, they're incredibly athletic. They're fluid. They're fundamentally sound, and you can't help but really like them. So I thought Kownacki, because he hasn't been in deep waters that often with a fighter, especially of this caliber, that I thought he might slow down. Arreola with some savvy veteran tactics might pull away towards the end. He was starting to, but it's like time ran out on him, and I thought the decision was fair, but I had it much closer.
A little wide.
No. The cards were not fair. I had it closer to like 115, 113.
Me too.
To be honest.
Or 16-12, somewhere around that neighborhood.
Exactly, in that neighborhood. Because, man, he really, and I'm talking about Arreola, really showed me something in the way he was able to answer the heavy punches that were coming at him, the constant pressure.
Yeah.
And I love the work in the corner. And the MVP of the night is Joe Goosen with that white denim jacket. Homie was wearing a white denim jacket in the corner in a sport where you know blood's going to get on you. He gave zeros.
And not a drop.
With his wig looking tight, not a drop, but the dude had a white denim jacket on. That just made my day right there. But in between hearing his little pump-up speeches, because he was motivating him. And more on him we got to get him in here, because I think he's so underappreciated as a trainer. He did such a great job, brought the best out of him. And then, like I said, I don't have a problem with the decision, but with the scorecards I do. But bravo to both fighters. I even posted about them both. I really hope this is the note that Arreola ends on, because there's no shame in this. It's sort of like how Klitschko went out with Joshua, and even the defeat, it was still one of his high points in his career, I think.
Kownacki, to me, is Kielbasa Andy Ruiz. You're right. A lot of the same attributes.
Exactly.
Not quite as fast or as quick, but I think heavier-handed.
Heavy-handed. Those are some thudding punches.
And the thing,
you can't hurt that dude.
And he showed Good chin, good whiskers.
Great chin.
Because Arreola's still a heavy-handed guy.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Kownacki, in my view, looking at this fight, though.
Okay, now you're calling him Kownacki.
Kownacki, well,
You told me it was Kownacki. That was bugging me the whole fight.
Got hit by a lot of right hands. And I'll be honest, I think he's a top 6 or 7 heavyweight. But seeing him match up, the way he just got drilled down the middle a lot. Wilder, Ruiz, Joshua, and Fury. I would favor them, but he is certainly a legitimate guy. On any given night, on a good night, and if a guy has a bad night, he can probably upset a guy like that because he is durable and he has a really good engine.
I agree. I was very, very impressed with his engine and the way he... 2,000 punches! The way he let his hands go and the way he kept going forward. You better be prepared. You're going to fight a guy like that. Now, he's still young.
Yeah.
So he can still improve. Now, some head movement would be nice. Maybe parrying off a little bit more.
Maybe be a little bit lighter.
A little bit. Well, I don't know, though, Kim. Maybe that he was able to withstand a lot of those. Same could be said for Andy Ruiz, right? But look, he's heavyweight champion of the world now. So I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But remember, though, you're facing a fellow plotter in Arreola. When you're facing a guy like Wilder, twitchiness, speed, reflexes. Joshua, very long from the outside. Then you're talking about Ruiz, the quickness, and Fury, the movement. I think that's the worst matchup for a lot of heavyweights.
Well, you just named the 3 top-tier heavyweights in the world, right?
4,
Outside of them, okay, 4. Outside of them, he's, I think, right there.
It's him and Louis Ortiz.
Is that fair to
and
say?
Dillian White. And again, his status is a little bit unknown.
Right.
So we have like 7 or 8 really good heavyweights right now.
But the leather flying, I thought, was so impressive. And the fact that they were able to keep that pace, man, what a damn good... I was jealous that I wasn't there. Because what a fight to be at, huh?
The guy that helped make this happen, and you mentioned him, he was Lafitte Pinkai, he was Willie Shoemaker. What a job of going to the whip and then coaxing and then getting a horse to the finish line.
Yeah.
That had that a lot of people thought he was what's that horse they made the movie about?
Seabiscuit?
Seabiscuit. Let's be honest. A couple years ago, we thought they were going to the glue factory.
Right.
Like he was going to be in a bottle of Elmer's. I was with Joe and Chris about 2-3 times in this camp, about 15 miles from here in Van Nuys. And the stuff that you talked about, the defense, the head movement, keeping that right hand planted.
I saw that.
That was stuff I actually saw. I'm like, wow. And
that's just one fight.
Right. And Joe Goosen said to me, Steve, if I got him 7-8 years ago, I just look at the possibilities. But Joe Goosen, the job he did in preparing and then being a corner jockey, I honestly, like, no offense to Lennox or Deontay Wilder, I would have just liked to have the microphone be on Joe Goosen the whole. That was some compelling stuff in the corner.
He's one of my favorites just in general, just because I love him as a character, right? But I do think he's a great trainer. But he does get you fired up, and he knows how to motivate you. Him and Teddy Atlas are great entertainment in between rounds.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a fight where both of them have fighters fighting each other. I don't even care who the fighters are. I just want to see I'd be interested more in between the rounds.
Is that the guy we ran into in the parking lot outside
last
the
year when he bought us dinner?
That's
he was
right.
getting dinner for Amir Khan at that time. It was a funny,
right?
I see Steve Kim taking a picture of some guy. I was like, what the hell's he doing out there?
Yeah, that's the only Joe Goosen there.
Yeah, that dude. We got to get him in here. He's great. The dude rocked a white denim jacket in the
player.
No, but in a sport where you know there's going to be blood, that's a player.
And I'm with you. Chris Arreola is 38. A veteran of 45 professional bouts.
Yeah, hell of a career.
That was a grinding, hard, physical fight. I get the sense it's like the cell phone. His battery may have been at 33%. After that fight, it's closer to 5, where the thing's a little bit red. Right. I get the sense this is a good way to go out. That if you go look, the one thing I know about Joe's camps, though, they're very tough. He literally has his guys in the ring for 50 rounds at days. Because he just drills certain things. The head movement drill with the sandbag that comes over the top, double end bag, working the heavy bag. So, to me, you expend a lot of energy building up that conditioning. And I just get the sense with Chris, left hand was busted in the middle of the fight.
Oh, that's another thing.
Right.
Oh, my God. For him to finish the fight and he broke his left hand. No, I mean, that guy's as tough as they come. I liken it to the Klitschko fight again when Joshua he was defeated, but everybody was singing his praises more than ever.
Some losses are higher regarded than wins.
And I think this is a perfect example of that. And I think him in his great wig, because he's got a great wig right there, should ride off into the sunset. Hopefully he was smart with his money. And if he could stay in the sport in some capacity, because I know he loves it, then that'd be great. But I wouldn't want to see him get in the ring again, only for fear of what could happen.
Absolutely. Mario, on this undercard, which was filled with upset, Jean Pascal with a technical decision in 8 rounds over Marcus Brown. Now, for large stages, Marcus Brown, tall, rangy southpaw, was dominating this fight. But, you know, Marcus Brown, he has one flaw. He doesn't have great punch resistance. And, Mario, when you face a good right-handed puncher, as a southpaw, your alignment, you have to be much closer to Pascal's left side shading. He kept getting caught on the other side of the fence, and it 3 times basically won the fight, those 3 right hands
Those
for
right
Pascal.
Those right hands, those big right hooks, they were
Windmills. They're actually windmills.
Boom.
Yeah.
I love that looping punch. And he caught him with it, and it was very dramatic. You know, props to Pascal. That guy, if you really look at who he's fought.
Everybody.
He hasn't won them all, but he got in there
Carl
with
Froch,
everybody.
Dimitri Bivol, Bernard Hopkins, Chad Dawson.
Sergey Kovalev.
Twice.
Right, twice. So, I mean, everybody was anybody in his era. And like I said, he didn't necessarily win them all, but, man, the fact that he faced him, I give him full respect. And then that he was able to come up with this victory, like, good for him.
It was big because in that 8th round before the clash of heads, it was Pascal who carried out that momentum. And remember, in situations like this, they do actually score partial rounds. I thought that was clearly a Pascal round. So all 3 judges, to their credit, gave him the 8th, and it made it 75-74 across the board. And Mario, this is a huge defeat for Marcus Brown, who drops to 23-1 because he was, in essence, the mandatory in the WBC for the Neil Gavozic and for Dimitri Bivol in the WBA. My understanding is, and it's been reported, there is a rematch clause. So the question is, did Pascal just catch lightning in a bottle 3 times? Do you see him having the same type of success in a rematch?
Well, lightning in a bottle isn't 3 times. Lightning in a bottle is once.
That's a trend.
And he was catching him with that right hand as soon as every time he broke from the clinch. So obviously he's going to work on that. I think he's going in very confident. I wouldn't be shocked if it happens again.
Right. And Mario, the opening bout on this card on Fox from Brooklyn, New York, Wally Amatoso, our old friend at Wild Card, he's still kicking with a 3rd-round knockout over Curtis Stevens. Mario, we've talked about this in the past. If you're an older fighter, either stay at the weight or move up. Never go back down, because Curtis Stevens has been a career middleweight who for some reason said, you know what, I'm going to get lighter. I'm going to move down to 54. Mario, he must have left his ass in the sauna because his legs were gone.
And he looked bigger than ever.
Yes.
Didn't he look more built than
no
ever?
No constitution. He was hollow.
No, it sort of reminds me of when Chad Dawson dropped down to face Ward. He didn't have a punch. That the punch resistance didn't just didn't seem to be there. I mean, Wally could crack a little bit, but I mean, every time he was landing it, didn't matter what the punch was. I was happy for him because he's a hard worker. We see him a Wild Card, good guy from Nigeria originally, I think. And so Curtis, I was surprised to see. He's been in some wars, but I hadn't seen him hurt like that.
Yeah, there's sometimes when I remember Chris Bird when he decided after years of being a heavyweight, went all the way back down to I think light heavyweight. He looked hollower than a plastic straw.
Yeah,
and it ended his career in 2008. Right. So, but congratulations to the lucky boy, Wally Amatoso. Moving ahead, Saturday, we're in The Zone at the theater in Grand Prairie, Texas. It's the homecoming of one of the best prospects in the sport. Welterweight Vergil Ortiz, 12 up, 12 down, takes on the seasoned Antonio Orozco. Another solid test for what I believe is one of the very blue chip of the blue chippiest prospects in all of boxing.
One of the more entertaining fights this past year was when Jose Luis Ramirez fought.
In September.
Yeah, in September fought Orozco.
What a war.
It's a great fight, great war. Obviously, Ramirez ended up being a little bit too much for him. But, man, Orozco was in that fight, and he was giving him hell. This is going to be a great test for Vergil. Or it could be Orozco's time to maybe climb back into the ranks and move up into the ranks. So I think it's going to be fireworks. But I do think Vergil's something. The last time he looked pretty special.
What he did to Mauricio Herrera, we were both there. And what do we say? It's not sometimes if you win, it's how you win. And he got, I think, the semi-main right before Canelo Jacobs.
Right.
There was a palpable buzz in that arena when he blew out Herrera, who had never been stopped. He destroys him in 3. And I just remember looking around and then going online. People were like, welcome. Welcome, Vergil. We're gonna. I mean, people said, "Wow," and
that's a deep, talented weight division right now with a lot of talented fighters right there. But I think he's right on the cusp as being because he's sort of a Ramirez type. Wouldn't you like him?
He kind of is, but he's got more natural power. And
he does crackle. He does seem to be a little bit more.
And he's quicker.
But a little more heavier-handed and seems to be a little twitchier, right?
When I was out there at the Robert Garcia Boxing Academy to see both Jose and Vergil, the thing that really surprised me, and it was actually shown in the Herrera fight, kid uses great feints. So there's a boxing IQ.
Yeah.
So he sets things up, down, left, right, but there's some quickness, and he was sparring Esquivia Falcao, who's a middleweight, was actually in the Olympics. He was backing him up every round. I was like, wow. I'm just telling you.
Have they worked together, Ortiz and Ramirez?
Oh, yeah, and he's also gotten in there with Mikey Garcia. So
Yeah.
trust me, at that gym, there's a high level of sparring.
Right.
But with Orozco, keep this in mind. I talked to Robert Diaz last week about this fight. Not only is Orozco 28-1 and only one loss to a very good fighter, you know this for a fact. He's had problems making 140.
Yeah.
Now he's at 147.
Yeah.
That's an extra 7 pounds, and sometimes that's the best thing for a fighter.
Remember when Victor Ortiz finally went to 147 and fought
Andre
Berto?
Berto.
He looked like a completely different fighter. By the way, he's been hanging out and training at Wild Card, too.
He's got other issues.
No, I understand that, but it just made me think. My point was, it was in that particular fight too. You saw a different fighter when the weight. So who knows if that could be the case with Orozco? This is going to be we could be back to back with great fights.
This for the 2016 graduate of Grand Prairie High School. This is a homecoming in his city, but he says there is no pressure.
There's no pressure at all. Even though this is a hard fight, we're just gonna do what I do best. I work hard every day in the gym. When we get to the fight, we're gonna have a plan. But if I need to adjust, then I'm gonna adjust.
All right. Also on this card, the Texas trio, Joshua Franco and Hector Tanahara, they will be making their return to the Lone Star State. Check your local listings. Mario, big story late last week, and the tweets were flying. They were not letting this be a sparring session. This was bare knuckle tweeting here. This is what I call a Mexican standoff between Golden Boy Canelo and the Zone. We brought it up a couple weeks ago. IBF stripped Saul Alvarez last week of the middleweight title, so now Sergey Derevyanchenko will be in negotiations with Golovkin for that fight October 5th. But there's another issue. Forget that belt. To me, Canelo, he's Canelo. He don't need any belts, okay? Bottom line, he's the middleweight champion of the world, one of the most valuable commodities, one of the top 2 or 3 fighters in the world pound for pound. But him and Golden Boy, if this was a marriage, not only would they be sleeping in separate beds, I don't even think that Golden Boy would be on the couch downstairs. I think they'd be at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn for a few days.
Oh, calm down, drama queen.
No, it's bad. It's
first
bad.
of all, well, let me take it from the married guy that marriages have their ups and downs, okay? They're called dynamics of a relationship.
Have you and Courtney ever been this bad?
You're boy making it bad. You're making it bad. It's dynamics of a relationship.
Keeping it real here.
Unfortunately, no, hold on. Unfortunately, with social media now, you put out your feelings and you can air laundry, which I'm not a fan of. That's why any issues I do have with the wife, the kids stay between us, right? So, in all seriousness, though, I think with what a lot of athletes do, or people in general too, they'll air their laundry in social media. It's now cemented. People dissect it. They'll analyze it to death, and then they come to possibly regret it later. Do I think everything is peachy keen? Probably not.
Probably.
But do I think it's on the verge of being severed? I don't know. If I'd rush it, I don't think that's the case. There's so much money involved. There's contracts involved. There's the DAZN involved. But I think there needs to be a come to Jesus.
They've been trying to do that. Look, here's the problem.
But hold on. But
there was nothing ambiguous about those tweets. When Canelo Alvarez says the IBF did something and my matchmaker at Golden Boy signed off. First of all, I thought that
why was he blaming Michelada time?
Right. Robert Diaz, to me, I'm like, wait a minute. This guy's one of
his handle, Michelada time.
Great burritos, too.
Yeah, great best burritos ever.
Breakfast burritos.
And by the way,
he needs to change the handle to best burrito time.
And by the way, great summertime drink micheladas. But with that being said, that being said, my point.
Yeah, but why did he direct it towards him? I don't understand.
That was strange.
That was who? Why is he's a matchmaker. What does that have to do with?
And then Oscar, I thought, made a tactical mistake by I stand by my soldiers at war, and he puts out Eric and Robert. Okay, so my question is, who are you at war with? Why do you play your hands? So there's nothing ambiguous about this. The crux of the issue is this. Okay, and I hinted at it. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. When Canelo signed with the Zone, Golden Boy said, "Oh yeah, you'll get the third Golovkin fight." So when they signed Golovkin, they told everyone there, you'll get the third fight. Don't worry about it. You know who was not kept to that?
Canelo.
He's like, excuse me. But let me defend Golden Boy. when you negotiate the deal that they did, and let's be honest, Golden Boy has a large part of this development. First of all, they deserve to make some money. That's their hard work. That's their sweat equity. That's their brain power. That's their decision making.
Yes.
So that's one thing. I don't really care if Canelo's upset that someone's making money off him. Welcome to the world of the big city of boxing, okay?
Well, but that's business.
Right,
It's not like...
And the other thing is, Canelo's getting paid on average $36.5 million. Even if it's not explicitly said in any contract, you might fight Manny, Mo, and Jack, Larry Cole, whatever. What do you think you're getting into? You're getting paid $36.5 million. If you do the math, Mario, that means on average you're doing pay-per-view events that are doing well over 1 million buys. So for at least 7 of those fights, they're grossly overpaying you on market value.
Right.
The zone has a right to say, we're paying you because we're basically now your boss and you're a very high-powered, influential employee or talent. So we're going to have some, and they are willing to say, okay, if you don't want to fight him in September, next May, when, by the way, that old guy, Golovkin's 39.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not an unreasonable position to say, okay, take any fight you want in the fall.
Right.
But we don't want to breach Golovkin's contract, and we kind of want to, like, have that fight next May. I mean, would you agree or disagree with that?
I absolutely agree. I think it becomes, you get to a point, unfortunately, not everyone, but sometimes people get to a point when you achieve a certain level of success and you get some sort of kind of diva attitudes like, wait, no one tells me who I got to fight, when I got to fight.
Right.
I don't care what your plans were.
Or your contract
or
even.
your contract. I'm going to do what I want to do. He's at that point where he can't call shots, but you got to be honorable and you got to, it's not a good look.
36
and you're hurting yourself at the end of the day.
$36.5 million. And Golden Boy is in a situation
I'll
where
take an ass whooping.
all their fights are on the zone. They got dates from this.
Yeah.
So they really have to deliver. And my view is this, and I've said this, I don't know if you agree. I don't need to see Canelo Golovkin for a 3rd straight September. Let them have some other fights. Let them work with Jonathan Banks. Let's have some other fights. Like, look, if we get Derevyanchenko as a solid middleweight against Golovkin, and let's say Canelo does face Demetrius Andrade and the winners face off, that's a win-win for fans, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's why I don't know why Canelo wanted to face Kovalev and go up a weight. Like, that was a real conversation.
Actually, 2 weight classes. Really,
two weight
classes.
He's
really middleweight, yeah.
I just, where is that? Which is, I like the ambition there.
Right.
But
it didn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know where his head's at. You know, listen, when you're making that much money, who knows what?
But there are expectations.
There are
to
expectations.
whom much is given,
much is expected.
You live by the diva, you die by the diva.
Well,
and speaking of which,
it seems to have influenced his young stablemate, Ryan Garcia, who started tweeting up a storm, which I'm sure you'll get to. Here's the fascinating thing about Ryan Garcia. I was thinking about here's the crazy thing about Ryan Garcia is if for some reason social media wasn't a thing, would we know who Ryan Garcia is?
No. He's boxing's version of the Instagram model. And we don't know if it's him or the filters.
Right.
Because he looks good.
That's a good analogy.
And, like, there's an image. We don't know how authentic this is.
Right. I mean, he was a prospect, but now when you get to a certain level, we've got to say, we've seen him do more mitt work in 30-second clips than actual training
When
camps.
it comes to Canelo, when he does this stuff, I say, you know what? There's a certain part of me that says you deserve that.
Right. Canelo, you cannot knock at all for who he's
earned that.
Exactly.
You have earned that.
Exactly.
Okay, even though we may not like it, may be uncomfortable, what has he earned? And let's set the stage here for our audience that doesn't know. Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight September 14th in Carson at the Home Depot StubHub Dignity Health Center. Okay, and he was going to be one of the headliners. It was going to be on The Zone, a big date for Golden Boy based on Mexican Independence Day weekend. Now, Romero Duno is a hard-punching, mean-intentioned Filipino. That's a real fight. I was like, wow.
That's a real fight.
That's where we're going to know, is it filters or is he really a dime piece?
Right.
Okay, I'm like, wow. Then he comes out on Saturday saying, well, I don't want to do this because I deserve more time. My fans deserve more time. I'm bigger. I'm thinking to myself, no, bad look. He hasn't fought since March, by the way.
Yeah, how much more time does he need? And he looks like he's keeping in shape. He actually looks like he's been a little engineered as much as, so what's he doing?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's getting in time. Listen, he's a nice kid. He's a nice kid. I wish him the best. I want to see all these young
But he's delusional. Him and his family are delusional.
How can you Wow. And it's out of sight, out of mind.
Well, speaking of which, I'm going to say this.
So at the moment, he is not scheduled to fight on that day.
No, I don't think so. He's going to fight Avery Sparrow, who's a pretty tricky boxer out of Philadelphia. I've seen him. But they don't know a date yet. See, September 14th now, in the words of Mike Tyson, in terms of the zone and Golden Boy, has gone to Bolivian. And we'll talk about that later.
What about Jaime Munguia?
Munguia, yeah. Speaking of another situation, they wanted a catch weight for Jesse Vargas, so that fight is kiboshed.
They wanted a catch weight?
Yeah, it's the WBO 154. So, órale.
Man, this September is looking grim.
Speaking of which, and this will be part of one of my stories
Don't
this
worry,
week.
we got NFL.
If you're Oscar De La Hoya and you spend all your focus on Canelo, and I get it, he has to be a priority, for the good of his company and the good of his relationship, and he has not been at any Golden Boy shows for at least a month and a half, 2 months, he may want to show up to Grand Prairie and be there for Vergil Ortiz, because there's a question mark with that company. We know the straw that stirs the drink is Canelo, right? But you know what you got to have in that cup? Other straws. And that company is dominated too much by one guy, where it's the tail that wags the dog. And in my view, if Golden Boy, if they're going to be so dependent on one guy, guess who ends up really running that company? Yeah, that one guy.
It's the tail that wags the dog.
And so,
and not only that, you need to use that opportunity to cultivate this other talent for the good of your company, and you got to serve them and be there for them. And look, I agree with you. I think Vergil Ortiz could be something very special. So you got to do all you can to back that kid up.
Being there matters.
Yeah.
Being there
FaceTime.
matters. A couple of other things here, news and notes. Saturday from Philadelphia on ESPN+. Irish Carl Frampton takes on Emmanuel Dominguez. Check your local listings. Some other news and notes here. Mario, 130 pounds is going to be a loaded pack fun division in the very near future, because Oscar Valdez, he announced late last week he has vacated his WBO featherweight title. So now at 130, your belt holders and some of your bigger names, Jamel Herring, Miguel Burchell, Tank Davis, Tevin Farmer. Let the fights begin.
Ooh, I love all the possible matchmaking right there.
Yeah, and Herring and Burchell are both with Top Rank, as is Valdez. Those fights are very, very makeable. Now, this is going to be interesting. The top two contenders in the WBO at 1 and 2 are Shakur Stevenson and Joet Gonzalez, and this will be one of the great, truly personal grudge matches in recent years.
Chongo's at that weight class too, right?
Andrew Concio's at 130. Don't forget about him.
No, heavy-handed and coming. Ooh, that's a deep weight class.
And Mario, with September 14th going by the wayside with Golden Boy, looks like they're not going to do a fight. Okay. What's happening now is I just got off the phone with a couple of people. September 13th, the Zone is going to be doing a show from Madison Square Garden, the theater, along with Matchroom Promotions, our good friend Eddie Hearn, co-headlined by Danny Roman, unified 122-pound champion, and also the bright young lightweight Devin Haney. They'll be the co-main events on that night. So what's going to happen is September 14th. You know, when you think of Mexican Independence Day weekend, you know what I always think of? White British heavyweights. Because Tyson Fury is going to be in Las Vegas taking on Otto Wallen. What a fine mess this is, huh?
Wow, Bob Arum swooped in, huh?
You went from Canelo to maybe Munguia to Tyson Fury. And look, Otto Wallen, he ain't exactly Ernie Shavers or Ron Lyle. This is another victory, another tune-up fight.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you got to hold your breath that nothing happens to Deontay Wilder, because this is all about setting up the rematch next year. Going on to the Ask Mario segment of the show, as I punch this up on my Twitter. But, yeah, a lot of things going on at Golden Boy. I think they need to settle themselves, and it is time for Oscar De La Hoya, in my view, to don't be an absentee owner. Do your job. Show up, okay? Golf can wait. You've played plenty of holes this year. Just public service message. Couple things here. Here's a question from El Ramiro, my good friend. Hard-hitting question. Mario, what is your Mount Rushmore of Selena songs? Give it to me.
Come on, man.
Does she have any famous songs, really?
Yeah, dude.
It's such a short run, though.
Como una flor. Bitty bitty bom bom, como una flor comes to mind. Gosh damn it. I mean, I'm not I'm not a Selena super fan. I knew Selena.
You did?
Yeah, I knew Selena. She was a sweetheart. Super, super nice.
Okay,
and
so
great in concert too.
Okay, we'll think about the other two later.
I don't have my phone on me because I actually have her in my mariachi playlist.
Here's one. Right my boy Bibbs. Oh, this is another serious question. He brings the heat. Menudo or pho?
Wait, what?
Pho, the Vietnamese soup.
The
Pho.
soup.
Oh, oh, is it pho? I thought it was pho.
No, it's not pho. It's
pho.
It's pho.
Pho?
Yeah, so off.
Pho. I don't know if I've ever had pho. How's pho?
Oh,
It's
so
not
good.
good. It is not. It
It's
is
so
kind of
good.
like Asian menudo.
Did you say so good?
I love it, dude.
It is. It's good.
Wait, I need to get down on it
If I
then.
feel a little under the weather, I
It's
go
like-
get
it's
it.
like
It's
a
so
thing,
freaking
though.
good.
It's like a lot of people love pho.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to try some pho.
Well,
Dude,
let's.
you'll
I've
love
never
it.
had pho.
Hey, when you want a pho, let me know. We'll pho.
Have you had pho?
Yes, I pho.
Well, then you're better to ask because you've had both, menudo or pho.
Being Steve Mexican and a graduate of Montebello High School.
You're going, okay.
Menudo. I had
Okay,
menudo at Raphael's yesterday.
Do you go the red menudo or the white menudo?
Red. I'm red. I'm a blood.
Because my
I'm
grandfather
blooded.
used to make like the white cloudy menudo,
Yeah,
which I like. It's good. It's
But I'm
good.
red.
But no, I get down to the red too.
Call me Cincinnati. 'cause
Dude,
I'm
I want
red.
to have some pho right now.
You'll love it, dude.
Yeah.
You will.
You got me fired up. I want to try some pho.
You will pho. You will
I want to
pho.
go to like a good Vietnamese, you know, place. Kimster?
Well, K-Town. There's all sorts of stuff there.
Well, they're Vietnamese in
No,
K-Town.
but
All right.
it's Vietnamese, but it is something.
All right,
It's a Vietnamese food, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
All right,
I'm
here's
fired up
one
for some pho.
from
It's like noodles and stuff. It's like-
Yeah, noodles of broth.
I love soup.
some
Any kind of
meat.
soups and stews and I love
Got
that.
noodles.
Alacron Brendan. See, I saw Burchell call out Oscar Valdez. What do you think if this were to happen? Is it too big to get your hopes up for Tucson, Arizona, location of Burchell's fight against last fight in Oscar's American home, Valdez? Funny thing, when Burchell fought Francisco Vargas, I was out there at the convention center. Nice little event. You know what killed the live gate, though, since it was Father's Day weekend or something? The George Lopez concert. The local promoter said it cost us about $2,000. It was a big thing, the George Lopez thing. And so I don't know what they're going to do with that fight.
I like to see style. I like to see the different styles. I want to see like Devin Haney and Burchelt or Tank and Valdez or Concio
against the Farmer.
Farmer.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? I want to see those contracts in styles.
Yeah.
These two Mexicans going at it that you know are going to be.
And that's a natural fight, but
That's
you
a
can always
natural
do
fight.
that.
You can always do that. I want to see the other ones, and that's I think a little more intriguing to me.
Here's one from Mario E. From one Mario to another. My wife wants a shout out because apparently 10 years ago she's seen you in Palms in Las Vegas and asked for a picture, but you kept walking.
Oh, shut up, Kimster.
Her
Why
name
you rid
is
of that?
Elizabeth Arroyo. Can you give
First of
Elizabeth
all,
a shout out, please?
First of all, Elizabeth, I may have not heard you.
Yeah.
If odds are, if I was in Vegas, I was probably hammered, and I didn't. I
and
probably
10
wasn't
years ago,
here
you
too
were
much.
not married. It's a little bit different.
Yeah,
Stuff
who
was
knows
going on.
if I was rushing to my room with some. So wait, 10 years ago, how long have I been? Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're
No, I'm
good.
No, Elizabeth, if you're ever around the Universal Studios area, come by. I'd shoot my show at the Globe. Be happy to take a picture with you.
Absolutely. Here's one from Dethroned South. Prime for prime. Could Mario beat Mickey Rourke in a 4-rounder? Yeah, I'll answer this. Yes. Yes. Because I'll tell you why, and I've seen it. His sparring sessions are actually more authentic than Mickey Rourke's quote-unquote fights. Here's one.
Dude, let me tell you
Isn't
real
he like
quick.
70 as well?
Yeah, but he's enhanced,
He's
too.
enhanced. He is engineered.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the gills. Yes. I was sparred over the weekend. I just
I
started
saw that,
sparring
saw
again.
that.
Again, it was cool. One I didn't post. So this dude, he was like a troll. He wanted to get in, this and that, started talking, and he said, okay, let's go light, and he started to tee off.
Uh-oh.
Well, this was not the weekend because I had a long week.
Yeah.
So I actually got in a fight while sparring, if that makes sense. Like a literal
things
fight.
got
Like
serious.
Yeah,
Whoa.
like in 30 says things got serious. And they were shot a little bit of it. I'll show you a little bit of it. But then he caught it. He stopped the
How did it
phone
get
recording
broken up
because
then?
somebody jumped in there. And then Freddie kicked the dude out because he was being a punk. This and
Oh.
that. Yeah. But
There's no room for that at Wild Card.
No.
I'll tell
You
that
can't
right
go in.
now.
You can't be trolling in there to start talking. No, but I went off on him. So it was
Yeah,
all right.
Jose Jr. When Mario was
For the
a
best.
teen idol.
It's not gonna fight. I was like, I haven't got a fight in a while. It was a real fight.
Again, from Jose Jr. When Mario was a teen idol, was his ego as big as Ryan Garcia's is now?
Oh, is that funny? You're stupid.
Let's go with the personal questions today.
Yeah,
No,
because-
but
yeah,
in
yeah.
my view, look.
First of all, I've never had an ego. Holmes. I've
Ryan
always been cool.
Garcia is one of these guys who thinks he's done something. You know what all he's done?
What weight is he at right now?
He's at, based on that last picture, about 147.
No.
By the way, if you've seen that picture, folks, it's circulating. He's gotten the membership to LA Fitness.
So what weight is he supposed to be at? Let me ask you.
35.
35. Okay.
Yeah. Here's one from Adam Fahey. Who of the current ring champions is your favorite and why? And Mario, here's the list of Ring Magazine champions. Alexander Usyk, Callum Smith, Canelo, Loma, Hiroto Kayoguchi, and Nanu Inoue.
God, I like all those guys. All those guys are great for different reasons. Yeah, it's hard to compare, right?
I'm going to go with Inoue.
He's the most
complete Asian bias, I admit it.
But he's the most, I think, impressive in his victories have been the most
dominant.
The most dominant, most dramatic against really
stout
opposition.
Guy. I mean, guys who've never been knocked out.
That's what I'm saying. So
have
I think if you
one
look at it
knockout
like that,
against
right.
him, and he's getting it done in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
That's the impression. And final question, Clay Stevenson, dream fight question: Alexis Arguello versus Lomachenko, and Danny Garcia versus Jose Ramirez at 140. I'll take Ramirez over Garcia. I think he's too active for him. Now, what do you think about Lomachenko and Arguello? Let me just say one thing. Arguello was a brilliant fighter, but you ask
Is this
anybody.
at featherweight? Is this at featherweight?
Let's say 130. That was
okay,
good.
because featherweight was his
but
real prime.
Arguello had one flaw: did not handle movement well because he was a bit of a flat-footed guy. I think Lomachenko's movement would give him a lot, but
he could crack
in a 15-round fight, though.
Yeah,
see, that's the question.
Yeah, Arguello could crack. And we've seen Loma get dropped by guys who aren't as heavy-handed.
Yeah, you're right. Linares.
Yeah, so he could crack, and he throws that 1-2 straight, and I think the length probably bothers him. That's a pick-em fight.
So I'm going to completely hedge. In a 15-round fight, the explosive thin man. In a 12-round fight,
explosive thin man. Is that the
Lomachenko.
name? Explosive thin man.
Final flurries. Knuckles, I am counting down like Dick Clark. I have like a football coming down from the rafters. Hard Knocks is on Tuesday.
You watch Hard Knocks? You watch all the Hard Knocks?
I've watched every single episode.
Really? I've never seen one.
It's a fun show.
What? It's like 24/7, but with the teams,
I don't even know
right?
who you are.
So no, I just because there's so much TV, dude. It's like I'm gonna get enough football.
To me, okay.
The last thing I want is another show about football. Which has been the best one?
Mario. The first year they had it was 2001. The Ravens won it. They had Ray Lewis.
Yeah, don't give me a whole live. Just which one's been your best one? Your favorite one?
I think they've all kind of been good.
Oh my god.
Okay, the year with the Cowboys had Terrell Owens because they were expected to go to the Super. They had Pac-Man Jones, I think, was one of the guys.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones makes great TV. Coach Phillips was a really nice character.
Okay.
But
now it's the Raiders now, right?
Every year it signals to me that football is very close to happening, and HBO does a great job. And I think Lee Schreiber is still the narrator. So anything with Lee Schreiber, he could read off a grocery list, and you will watch it. Did you finally get done watching Stranger Things?
I did, and I got it. Have you seen it, Nichols?
No, I haven't started the new season yet.
Oh man! All right, I'm not going to spoil it for Nichols over here.
But did the show get better or worse?
I thought this season it found its groove again, and not that it was terrible last season. This is third season, correct?
Correct.
But I thought this season was the best.
It was stellar.
It
found its groove. Huh?
Yes, I was great. You would love it, man. It's all 80s.
Give me the synopsis of
Dude,
what exactly
you
is it.
would love it. It's a total throwback to the 80s era.
All right, I'm listening.
And there's so many references. You've never seen it?
No.
Oh my God, dude, you would be such a big fan. And knowing you and everything you like, you got to watch. Just do me a favor.
What network?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And you can watch it at your leisure,
and
however
I could
you
chill.
want.
Yeah. Okay.
It's almost a little. It's almost a little Goonies meets some scary kind of, how would you describe it? Some like not
just like
Twilight
that,
Zone,
like
but
Goonies
meets like a scary monster, but there's mystery, and it's just it's I'm doing a horrible job describing it, but they're good little actors, the kids, the nostalgia and the music and the references, and the season takes place in a mall, and you're seeing all like the oak tree and the, you know what I mean? Oh, you know what I'm saying?
Hipster loves mall culture too.
Yeah,
dude,
Walden's book.
Dude, it's great, dude.
Sabaro's Pizza.
Dude, it's
hot
great.
dog on a stick.
Especially for us, because you'll love especially for us. I'm doing a bad job describing it, but this season I thought was fantastic, and it was almost like 3 different storylines that you were following. And in the finale, they did a great job in the finale. But I can't believe you watch it. I'm excited for you to see it, knowing all the stuff you like.
Okay.
I want you to watch it. Come back and report.
I will. And
Start with one though. Start with season 1.
One show that I am watching that I think just
can't believe you never saw
getting
it.
better. City on a Hill on Showtime. Someone recommended to me on Twitter about a month ago. I've caught up. DeCourcy Ward is probably one of my favorite characters on TV because he's so conflicted.
Is that Kevin Bacon?
No, it's the black guy that's like the head of like whatever, who realizes I got to be corrupt here to do any good. So he's fighting that battle.
Yes.
And Kevin Bacon, what a pile of trash. That character is beautiful.
It sounds like a Little Billions-esque.
It is. You don't know who the good guy. It always fluctuates. There's a real gray area.
I'm gonna like it. Damn it. I should have. Is it too late?
No. It's only about 6 episodes in.
And season 1.
Season 1. Very nice show. Set in Boston in the early 1990s.
Okay.
And they do a nice job with the references. Oh, forgot to tell you, I had dinner 2 weeks ago when I was watching Teofimo Lopez.
Did you have pho?
No, but I had.
Is it pho? Is that how you say it?
Pho. What
Damn it.
What the
pho?
fuck?
Oh, yeah, pho. Okay. I thought it was full this
had
whole
dinner
time.
with one of our good friends that we certainly respect, Curtis Schoon. What a guy. Because he lives out there, and I didn't realize this. He is really an actual hardcore boxing fan.
Did you invite him to the fights?
He actually went.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
And I didn't realize. He's actually gone to like Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt fights. He actually knows certain guys, and he just told me he's going to be doing a boxing documentary of some sort. He's going to pick for DAZN.
Oh, nice.
Right. By the way,
Good
his tweets are just fire emoji.
He's an eloquent guy. He really is a fascinating follow.
Yes. Nichols, are you happy with Draymond Green being given a very big contract by the governors of the Golden State Warriors?
Absolutely. Let's see if we can do this. Retool like the Spurs did with their triple, and then see if we can get one more or two.
No, that's
no way.
You don't think so? I get
do not.
That seems to be one of those contracts halfway through it, like Albert Pujols.
You're going to regret it.
You're like, ugh, boy, that sticker. Can we trade this guy in? Mario, I'm not Asian, but believe me, I am Asian, but I don't play ping pong, so I really am. But you are playing ping pong this week, right?
So every year I go to Clayton Kershaw from the first place Dodgers, who are now, I believe, 17 games in first place.
I think they're going to hold on to that lead.
I think so, dude. I think so. Let's hope they extend it, too. Excuse me. He has a charity, which is great, as opposed to a golf tournament and all that. Yeah. It's the ping pong for a purpose.
At the stadium, isn't it?
At the stadium. You're right. You're right on the field, and there's always people playing, the DJs and all in the open bar. It's great. So one year, Adrian Gonzalez and I, we made it to the semifinals, which I cannot believe. And dude, a lot of people play by pure luck. I mean, we got lucky on some shots by pure luck, and then we went up against some dude that was like Forrest Gump, and we just got smashed. So that's the farthest I ever went. But I had probably not played since then because I couldn't play last year because my Achilles, right? But I'm still gamer to go out there and play. But it's fun. It's for a good cause. But I'm glad you brought this up because if the Dodgers aren't, do you feel good about them? Do you like the chances? The bullpen is still, I'm still skeptical, man.
Every time, I don't watch every Dodger game like you do, but I will catch a game or two. Every time they have a game where the bullpen actually matters,
I get nervous.
Jansen, to me, now scuffles every inning. Yeah. There's always a guy on base. The tying runs on third. Yes. He has to get like a hard-hit line drive at somebody. Now, they got to find somebody. Now, Urias is a very bright young pitcher.
Yes.
But he doesn't have great command. Like, his velocity is very good. His location's bad.
He was doing pretty well in his couple outings.
Now, that one guy that they brought in that always struggles but has really good stuff, I forgot his name. I get the sense in due time he will be the closer. I'm not a big Dodger fan. But they have to find somebody, and I hate to say it, Eric Gagne ain't walking through that door.
I like the kid that was the starter the other day I went when they played on Friday, Dustin May. He looks like Carrot Top.
I like that, yeah.
He's like
nice
6'6", and he's got a red fro. He looks like he's got the front.
Nice look.
Yeah, that dude was throwing heat. I like that kid.
Yeah, so they got to find somebody. Mario, is Diddy going to get shot again?
Wait, again? When did he get shot the first time?
He's been involved in some stuff. Remember with J-Lo years ago? There was like New Year's Eve. Because Steve Harvey cannot be happy with him.
Yo.
So that's a man code being broken.
This story, in case you're not familiar with the story, Diddy, Sean Puffy Combs, 49 years old, about to turn 50, I think, like in a week or so. He's dating this 22-year-old daughter who happens to be the daughter of Steve Harvey.
Uh-oh.
Right? That's just a fun fact. But the crazy thing is that girl used to date his son, Justin.
What?
Yes. So.
Oh boy.
So I mean, they weren't married or anything or engaged, and I don't know how serious it was, but nevertheless, the son was there. So that's
strange.
I mean, is that disrespectful to the son? I'm trying to think because I'm a lot old. I started late in life. If I was starting to date my son's girlfriend.
Oh my God! Dang. Really? Wait a minute. Wait. Not only are you dating the daughter of Steve Harvey,
right? There's that,
but it's your own son's
ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
how does the son? I'm sure the son doesn't care because the son himself is probably in his early 20s. But still,
the son's a rapper and all that.
Now listen, it's really Diddy's money dating this 22-year-old because Diddy's quite successful, right? He's doing well.
He did okay.
And I'm sure, I don't know. First of all, first question, how do you think Steve Harvey feels? He's a very successful guy. He does quite well, but then, he is a lot older.
Honestly, you know how I think he feels? If Suge Knight was out free, he would have called him.
You don't think he's happy about it? Because they were on vacation together, I think, right?
Would you be happy about it if that was in your situation? If you were Steve Harvey, would you sign off on it?
So you have an issue with him being that much older than his daughter? I don't have an issue so much with 49, 22. Hold on. No, that's a very successful. I'd rather my daughter date an older, very successful guy than some punk young kid that has no future.
I don't disagree.
That's what I'm saying. Where it gets tricky is that it's his ex-girlfriend.
Right. And, well,
it's the son thing.
No, but Mario.
So there's different issues.
But Mario, you're in the Hollywood circles. You're in that A class. Shouldn't there be like certain laws like, okay, that's your daughter, I'm staying away, just out of respect?
Well, I don't know if they're close, or I don't know if they were boys, then probably not. You should stay away. But if they don't know each other, and it's just coincidence, oh, your dad happens to be Steph Harvey afterwards, and that's a trip. You're missing the point. It's more about, do you date your son's ex-girlfriend?
No, that's weird too.
Is that weird, or is it just me?
Yes.
It's a little weird, right? It's a little weird.
Little?
How does that? What if y'all get together? What if it gets serious with Pops?
I mean, I would love to be at their Thanksgiving dinner this year.
Right?
I mean, who cuts the turkey? I mean, who gets the drumstick?
It's cold as ice.
I mean, who's getting the first?
The whole thing's
piece of
just
pumpkin
fascinating.
pie?
I was like, okay.
Yeah, fascinating's one way to put it.
Exactly.
All right. Well, anyway, that's it for this week's edition of the 3 Knockdown Rule. On behalf of Mario Lopez and Justin Buffalo Knuckles, this is Steve Kim saying adios.